And let us not forget, no individual who has ever walked this earth has truly perished. A long-hidden interview with Nikola Tesla, unearthed after 83 years, unveils remarkable facets of the legendary inventor's inner world. Tesla is remembered not only as a brilliant physicist and engineer, but also as a man of enigma, one who contemplated the eternal, the unseen, and the continuation of life beyond physical death. To fund his groundbreaking experiments, he promised marvels to his backers, from transmitting electricity without wires to even teleportation. His mind raced ahead of its time, yet Tesla, for all his genius, remained profoundly human, shaped by his hopes, fears, and beliefs. He often reflected on immortality, the divine, and what lies beyond our final moment. Not long ago, researchers came upon an interview Tesla granted to a journalist in the year 1930, at the age of 74. Tesla's life spanned 86 years, and though the exact date of this conversation remains uncertain, the ideas expressed in it remain striking in both depth and timeliness. During their exchange, the journalist posed an unusual question. It is believed that you foresaw the direction of both the 20th and 21st centuries. In your laboratory, the atom was first split, black cosmic rays were identified, and a device that could generate earthquakes was constructed. Some say that, in time, you will be remembered as the one who uncovered the secret that earth, air, and water are saturated with the living energy of the ether. What are your thoughts on this? Tesla responded. Indeed, that is one of my most significant discoveries. However, I must confess, I feel defeated, for I was unable to bring all my visions to fruition. The journalist pressed further. Mr. Tesla, what specifically did you fail to bring to life? After a thoughtful pause, Tesla replied. My ambition was to illuminate the entire planet. I could have created a second sun. We possess sufficient energy, but sadly, mankind is not yet prepared to embrace such revelations. In Colorado, for instance, I charged the earth with energy. Or take the compositions of Mozart and Bach, they carry a positive force that is also usable. Hidden within the earth lies the energy of peace, love, and joy. I devoted many years to understanding how these forces influence the human spirit. The fragrance and elegance of flowers are also medicine. Sunlight can nourish us. Life presents itself in endless forms, and it is the scientist's role to uncover them in every substance. Tesla continued. All of my life's work has been guided by this pursuit. I am aware that I will not uncover every secret, yet I will never cease my exploration. We are only beginning to sense the unseen forces that flow through the universe. In close to 100 years, scientists will start speaking openly about dark energy, a presence that saturates the cosmos and shapes gravity and the universe's expansion. During the conversation, Tesla increasingly returned to the idea that the sources of energy capable of transforming humanity have long been near us, in nature itself, in human emotions, in the sound of music, in the breath of the earth. He said that mankind had searched for power outside itself for too long, forgetting that it is contained within. I believe that the energy that feeds the universe is not just a physical resource. It is something greater. We call it ether, some call it the divine spark. But the essence is the same, all living things are nourished by this force. It is hidden in the depths of the planet, in the structures of light, in the harmony of sounds, and in thoughts, said Tesla. He claimed that one day this energy would become the foundation of new technologies capable of feeding the hungry, healing the sick, eliminating the need for destructive sources of energy. He noted with sorrow that in his time, society was not ready to accept such ideas. There was too much politics, greed, and fear of the unknown in the world. Tesla recalled how, during one of his experiments, he observed the phenomenon of light disappearing, concentrated in a single point in space, as if a star was devouring itself. I discovered a star that can disappear. According to my calculations, it is located in our galaxy. Its light is so dense that it can be enclosed in a sphere the size of an apple, and yet it would weigh more than the entire solar system, he said. Later, these words would become a foreshadowing of the concept of black holes, which scientists would begin to speak about only decades later. He also spoke with interest about religion, though without fanaticism. In his view, no religion can claim to be the absolute truth. He asserted that all of them were reflections of the same human desire to understand the source of life and one's purpose. Religions and philosophies are attempts to explain the infinite with finite words. They may be useful, but they have no significance on the scale of the universe. God, as I understand him, is an infinite force. It is the energy from which everything originated. But it does not judge. It does not punish. It simply exists, said Tesla. He spoke cautiously, so as not to provoke public condemnation, for in the early 20th century, such thoughts could ruin a scientist's reputation. But in private conversation with the journalist, he was candid. Gravity, that is what we need to understand in order to learn how to fly. I do not seek to create flying machines. I want to teach people to fly using their own consciousness. My goal is to activate the energy that already exists in the air. Emptiness does not exist, not on Earth, nor in the universe, he added. He also claimed that the most powerful sources of energy are hidden in black holes, which he described as gateways to primordial matter. It was not merely scientific interest for Tesla, such phenomena also held philosophical significance. They symbolized transition, transformation, the very nature of existence. When the journalist asked him about personal matters, about family, homeland, and loved ones, Tesla responded calmly, almost indifferently. I have never had a wife or children. Only in solitude can one fully devote oneself to observing the world and its mysteries. A family requires energy, and I did not have it in abundance. Everything I had, I gave to my work. Despite this, he was a deeply feeling person. When the conversation turned to human contradictions, to the fact that his statements sometimes contained differing or even opposing ideas, Tesla explained it this way. In the beginning, there was energy from which matter arose. Matter is simply a form in which energy is enclosed. Everything we see, stars, planets, human bodies, trees, is light, compressed to a certain density. Light that came from the primary source. Therefore, death does not exist. There is only transition. He spoke with the confidence of someone for whom this was not theory, but knowledge gained through personal experience. He added, none of those who ever lived have truly died. Because energy is eternal. And life is a form of energy. The body departs, but the essence itself, the vibration itself, does not disappear. These ideas, of course, resonate with religious teachings, but Tesla emphasized, he arrived at them not through faith, but through science. And at the same time, he did not deny the divine. God is light. It is the primary energy from which everything began. This light has no form, it requires no worship, it simply exists. It is in everything, in us, in the air, in the stars. People assign human traits to God to make it easier to understand. But the true power of God lies in his impersonality and infinity. The conversation returned again to the topic of death. Tesla said he was not afraid of it, because death is not the end, but a return. He compared it to how a wave returns to the ocean. You will not die because you were never born. You have always existed in one form or another. We are only temporarily in these bodies, in this world. When everything ends, we will simply move to another state. Everything is energy. And it never disappears. Such words did not fit within the framework of the science of that time, but they were also difficult to refute. After all, much of what Tesla said was later confirmed by discoveries in quantum physics and astrophysics. When the journalist asked a question about the nature of electricity, Tesla smiled for the first time during the entire conversation. Everything is electricity. In the very beginning, there was an infinite source of light, and from it came the substances that formed the universe and the earth with its diversity of life. We are used to thinking that light is what we can see. But true light is black. It hides within itself the greatest mystery of the universe. A single quantum of it can contain nuclear, chemical, mechanical, and yet undiscovered energy. One such particle is enough to alter the orbit of the Earth. The journalist asked in surprise. You claim that all matter is a form of light? Exactly. Light, energy, that is primary. Everything else is secondary. Matter is light, frozen in a specific configuration. When you understand this, you understand that all living things are connected. We are not bodies, we are waves, vibrations, parts of a vast spectrum, Tesla replied. He spoke with quiet confidence, like someone who had seen something inaccessible to others. And then the journalist cautiously touched on a topic that Tesla had mentioned in other writings, the concept of cosmic pain. You often mention a kind of pain that permeates the universe. What does that mean? Tesla paused for a moment, then answered. Cosmic pain is what the soul feels when harmony is disturbed. Many are unaware of it, but it causes diseases, suffering, poverty, wars, and all the horrors of human existence. We cannot completely get rid of it, but the awareness of its existence can already ease the suffering. He explained that he feels physical pain when someone close to him is in distress. We are made of the same material. Our souls are connected by invisible threads. When somewhere on earth a child or a kind person dies, you suddenly feel an inexplicable sadness. That is the very pain, not personal, but shared, cosmic. Tesla believed that this feeling could become a key to healing humanity. He asserted that stars and planets affect our condition more strongly than we might imagine. Their disappearance and appearance echo in our dreams, our thoughts, our intuition. Emotions, in his words, are not just reactions, but part of a mechanism of interaction between all beings in the universe. Understanding these connections is a necessary step towards spiritual progress, he concluded. Without the awareness that we are one, humanity is doomed to repeat its mistakes. This was Tesla in his entirety, between scientific genius and prophet, between physicist and poet. In the second half of the conversation, Tesla spoke more and more often about the idea that all events in the universe are interconnected. In his opinion, every thought, every action triggers a chain of reactions that affect not only human destinies but the very fabric of reality itself. The world is a fabric in which every thread influences the others. We cannot do anything that will not be reflected somewhere else. Goodness begets goodness, evil gives rise to suffering. Many of humanity's problems could be solved if we simply stopped doing evil, he said. Tesla understood that this might sound utopian. He harbored no illusions about human nature. Man is inclined toward destruction. It is embedded in him. But this is not a sentence. We have a choice. Every day. The key is kindness. Not causing harm is the highest expression of strength. He strongly condemned wars, even those waged under the banner of truth or freedom. In his view, they always bring destruction and ruin lives. True victory is not victory over an enemy. It is victory over the desire to destroy. We must learn to resolve conflicts without violence. This is essential for the survival of humanity, especially now, when the era of great scientific progress is already on the threshold, he said. Tesla believed that the scientific and technological revolution of the 20th century was only a prologue. In the future, he thought, humanity would make a giant leap in medicine, in energy, in space exploration. He envisioned a world where disease would be defeated with the help of vibrations, where travel to the stars would become a reality, and energy would be free and accessible to everyone. But he was wrong about one thing: war and aggression did not disappear. On the contrary, their causes became even more complex and insidious. Humanity learned to destroy with unprecedented power, but still did not learn how to truly love. Nevertheless, Tesla remained a supporter of peace until the end of his days. He believed in a bright future, in the idea that an era of awareness would follow the age of darkness. The future belongs to people of light, to those who carry knowledge, who are not afraid of truth, who choose good even in the darkest of circumstances. Humanity is not ready yet, but it is awakening. And that is what matters, he said in farewell. These words were the last in the interview, which lay in the archives for more than 8 decades. Now it speaks again as a message from a man who stepped beyond time but remained true to the earth.